Hello's my Raze guide on Lotus. We're going to start on A. So there's two choices on A we're going to make off the barrier. First one is if we're going to satchel or if we're going to nade. And there's basically a really easy way to know this is that if we expect to fight, we're probably going to nade. And if we expect to not fight, then we're going to satchel. If you're worried about, like, am I going to fight or not? If you don't really know how to answer that question, if you don't have any reads, then I would just recommend doing the nade. The way you want to nade is you just want to make sure like this pillar is visible and then throw the nade at the pillar. Generally you want it kind of high like this. Then it gets into this corner, but you don't want it too high because then it would just like not get too much over here, and you want it to be kind of in the middle. When it comes to the satchel, generally you want to pair all of it really with some sort of flash. Omen flash works the best with the nade. But other flashes also work pretty well in general. Just in general, you want to make sure you're coming with your teammates to have the utility you need, like the flashes you need, paranoia from May Link, or maybe like a breach flash on this wall here, or sky flash, bend around the flash, bend the flash around here, gecko flashes, that sort of stuff. If you don't encounter anyone, then you can have, there's two choices you can make as well. So there's a choice to go into rubble, or a choice to like stay near rubble and just hold. This is really good if they like tend to like fake or like play slow and then re-hit and things like that, right? That's like when you would generally be doing that. But otherwise you want to be rotating. You've got rotations through the door, and you've got rotations through CT. And technically you do have a flank as well, potentially, but I wouldn't recommend the flank too much. Not really the greatest place to flank from on a CA. But it is possible to do in certain situations. So generally you're going to be running through B and going to C, or you're going to be retaking B. And I'll talk about that soon, but I'm going to talk about B from the start now. So from the start of the round, on B, you don't really want to play here that much. The only time you ever want to play here is if you have a pretty good read that they're maybe going here on like an eco or a bonus or something, and then you can use your nade, like you can do like an info nade from here. Generally you want to play like A-Link. The reason why you want to play A-Link is because you would be able to fast rotate into A and help your teammate that maybe is like contacting A or something, and you have potential to fight them here. That's potential possibility, but maybe not always the best choice. But if you go B, sorry, then you can always nade the walkout like this. There's also a pretty nice nade for the actual plant as well. So everything's working. Everything works out on B on the retake as well. Not really great satchels you can do. You can do like single satchels to like help entry. But like you can go on top of this. I think if I was actually better at satcheling, you're pretty sure you could get on top of that. Nah. Yeah, that's kind of how you would sort of play B from the start of the round. I don't think you would ever try and commit and like walk through or like run through here. Even though this like the actual terrain itself isn't too bad for you, so you can kind of like play this out pretty decently. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not really that valuable. Not really. Anyway, especially because there's other value you can get that which is better. Then we go on to C. There's like one thing you can do on C over here on Waterfall, which is you can nade like kind of in the air, kind of equal to this, and it can stop like dogs from going through, like Gecko Ult and Sky Dog, Silver Drone, etc. You can do that. There's actually more effective ones. We have to be committed to C. So if you want to come down here and go to the bottom of the stairs, so you just want to be on the ground. There's two nades you can do to stop like dogs like that. So there's this one, which is to the right, and it tends to get more damage. It can also hit other players, so it's pretty good. And the other one to cancel dog is this one. It goes in the middle of this archway, but it also cancels on the right side. And then there's some other nades you can do as well. So when they go out, you can do nade like over here. Really makes it difficult for them to make a choice going into C. But you might also get satcheled on as well. So you might want to do things like this preemptively. You might want to wait till you get one as well. Maybe they'll satchel on top of sight, like this. Single satchel or something. That way you can get a kill, and then you probably want to look for Boombot or something, because that'd be the only person that can maybe get up here from mobility, like with mobility. So then you can like Boombot, play around this pillar, have nades. You have a lot of options then. Once like you get the first one, so that might be the better option, right? Depends on if they do have like a dog and things. That's when you'll throw this nade. Generally, if they like to come up here, then that's when you'll be playing like for the first one. You're gun out, no util. And then you'll be playing with, they're playing for space. You might ask for like some flashes or something. I'll go over here to taxi as well very soon. But I'm going to go over the retaking. So retaking C, if you come from CT, you can throw a nade through this window. Going to land onto like fight and just kind of general clear quite a lot of different things. Well, not really clear them, but do a bit of chip damage. But generally, you want more than chip damage with your nades. So I recommend getting like info nades. So info nades are going to be ones where your teammates have got info or you've got info, and then you can capitalize on it. So for instance, if the bomb is planted here and you didn't see anyone else cross, or there's no chance they could have crossed, then you can throw a nade here and they're probably dead. The same goes for like every other plant really. You can also do it on like the bomb left, sorry, like the left corner over here. The nade. There's also one over here as well on the bend. There's also which is like front bend. It hits like this corner, and there's also one on like the pillar bend over here, which is also really invaluable to know. So yeah, you've got all these options. You just need to make sure you used your information, and then throw the nade according to that information. Which is pretty useful. The boom bot is also pretty valuable here as well. If you can already use it in the round, you can kind of do very nice things. Clear sight, clear bend, clear the back left. There's a lot of places here. You can do it like this too if you're scared of it, people being default. Yeah, you've got plenty of options. I'm not sure if it's really that valuable down here. Oh, speaking of which as well, there's also another nade. You can do a nade like this, which will stop people from like doing like these one and like not really one and done angles, but these like type of angles here. They do like these type of angles. It really stops it. Like you can do a nade to stop those angles too. Easy. You just throw it kind of in the middle of this. Easy. We'll stop those two angles. So yeah, that's retaking C. So retaking B, you can throw. There's plenty of nice nades you can do. There's usually just like a couple that are pretty good. Like this one, for instance, gonna kill the planter. Or like if they're in the middle of planting, you can throw that early as well. If they came from B link, you can throw one over the top like this too. Not bad. The boom bot is also kind of works in the same way, where you can kind of get different nice angles with it. Bouncing off this wall or not bouncing off the wall and protecting all this area. Pretty decent, pretty good. If you actually retake from heaven, you can do nades that are quite deep into A main. So if you're struggling, like maybe if there's someone in this area, then you can push them out and do a lot of damage to them. That's actually a really strong nade because it actually gets right in the middle. And there's not where they can run really, so they have to run into your crosshair. So it's really good for that one. There's also boom botting from here is also really strong. You don't really quite get the duration on the one going towards main, so I do recommend the. Actually, you don't get too bad. It doesn't bounce though, so might not get someone in this corner. But yeah, generally it's not too bad. Generally, you probably want to use the boom bot on the left side. You can nade as well off the boom bot. Actually, you don't really can. You can't really do that actually. But yeah, I would recommend this one. It's pretty good from heaven. But at the same time, you can just use you can use info as well. So you can nade this still. You can nade below you as well. You got plenty of ways to use an nade. Just want to make sure you use off info most of the time. And retaking A. Generally, I'll never be retaking A on Raze. But if you do end up in that situation, then you can do ones over the top like this towards door. Towards the door. Yeah, towards like tree. And on default as well. And there's also ones you can do inside the hut. Ones you can do front sight. There's plenty of good nades for Raze if you're struggling to like clear this stuff. Maybe you want to use Boombot to clear it. There's also Boombot you can do for back sight. That will clear the majority of back sight. I actually did wrong. I think I do it lighter than this. And what we're aiming for, I'm doing it. Oh no, I did it wrong. I did it right. I think. Oh, it's so close. Okay, well, there's definitely a boombot there. I think it bounces off here. It might have to be against this wall. I think it's very good actually. Give it. I actually have to be against the wall. Yeah, it is that. Yeah, so it detected below you as well. But it's not really that useful. To be honest. And you can do nades over the top as well. I land like near this corner. Be quite nice to have for zoning and things. But generally, you want to look for kills or look for like really punishable positions with your nade. I wouldn't recommend ones like that. I would recommend ones like into hut and front sight and things. Ones that you can actually use to punish people that are in bad positions. And that's it for retaking and defense. So I'll see you on attack. Okay, so on attack, we'll start off on A. And generally, we're going to wait out util here at the start of the round. Sometimes we don't have to because they won't commit anything or they're going to do something different or they just don't have the good enough comp to do it. But sometimes if we do have to rotate things, and we might be struggling to like retake, so maybe like retake the space, so maybe we'd have to jump spots or something like that, or we have flashes. We can use a beambot to kind of check some of these close angles, like this will detect rubble there. You can also do a nade like this as well. You don't have to peek the actual rubble to do this. I actually did it wrong. You need to do it quite high. I did it wrong again. You need to do it quite high. And you don't actually have to peek rubble. Do it like this. You can do it like this. Sorry, I don't know why I did it wrong so many times, but there you go. And you can also do a beambot like this, but generally I would do this beambot when they have a neon fast lane up here. Otherwise I wouldn't do it. Basically just neon. Usually. Or if like, maybe they've done a smoke here. And I know that Jet likes to push rubble, then maybe I'll do it then too. But otherwise, I won't do it. And then we can use the satchel to go across the rubble if you want to and fight rubble, which is also pretty good. Generally, we're going to be attacking tree sometimes as well, so sometimes I'll do a boombot like this. And what will happen is it will bounce off the back wall, but it should bounce off the tree, but apparently I keep doing it wrong. It should bounce off the tree and come back this way. There you go, like that. That's the beambot you want. Then it paths like this. It will detect the tree. Then it will detect people over here. In fact, everywhere in tree basically, or fully clear tree. So we want that beambot. When it comes to nades, sorry, there is a nade that I forgot to show. Is that if you're against an operator, you can do a nade like this, and it will get this area, which is really nice to have access to for Raze. You get rid of the operator player off the angle, and then you can take space. And then when it comes to like pathing into site, so I would go tree mainly if we have a killjoy, because killjoy will maybe all like over here, right? And drop is not going to be in the radius. So what we can do is we can nade this when it's like about to go off, right? And then they're forced to either be disarmed or they're forced to be dead to the nade, basically. So we want to make sure we do this nade when we have killjoy ult. It's a really strong nade to have. Obviously, don't like save it like 100% if you need to use it early on in the round, but yeah, that's like a good nade to have access to understand or to use. Sorry, to know. And then when it comes to like pathing into A, we can path either this way. Not like those satchels. My satchels are really bad, so don't take my satchels. They're really bad. But because I have low sense as well, I don't really play huge amount of Raze. But yeah, you can path that way, or you can path. There is another path you can do, which is over here, but I'm bad at it, so I do it from I do it way too late. You can do it from like not visible to. I almost did it there, but you can do it. You can do it from over here, but I'm just bad basically. But you can do it. You probably have to look for some other people to do it because my Raze is not it. You can do it with ult as well. I wasn't even close, but yeah, you can do it with ult as well. I'm not gonna do any more satchels on A at least. And yeah, you can also nade some of these like important angles as well. You can do it from over here too. There's like a little gap over here that you can. Okay, apparently you can't get through. There's a little gap as well. You can get to backside. Actually, I'm missing everything apparently. You should be able to go backside. There you go. Like I'm just messing things up today. And there you go. That's A. I wouldn't recommend pushing stairs. Usually stairs is pretty bad to push. Most of the time. When it comes to going B, we don't really have. Usually we're not going to have that much money. We might not have all our util, etc. Or maybe we do have our util. We're playing bonus. We just have like a weaker gun. Maybe have a judge or something. So what I would recommend doing like on B is that when our teammate goes to plant or something, then we can like zone with our nade. Is it something we can do? We can also do it when we go into site as well, so we can nade, and then if we have a shotgun mainly or like a lower gun, we can go heaven. I swear that I'm better at this when I actually play Raze. There you go. And yeah, we can push that. We can also push C-Link as well. You can literally push everywhere. Bear in mind that if you have a shotgun, this is definitely a worse angle. 20 meters away. You don't really want to be pushing this a huge amount. So if usually you want to smoke here and you want to play in the smoke, and you usually only satchel there. If you think someone's in the smoke, enemy team is in the smoke. But generally, yeah, I would recommend going heaven. And then yeah, going heaven and shooting there. If you think that they might come through B link, you can also satchel this way. Maybe just do it again. Once again, better than me. But yeah, you can do any of those if you want to go into B. Once again, I just want to reiterate as well, if you don't have like, if you're on eco, then this nade while you're planting can be really, really strong. Same with one over here as well, because it just stops people from pushing this planter or killing this planter. So then they can get the plant off and you can get the money, and that's what kind of like the main idea of the eco probably if you go B. So if you go in C, on C we don't really do too much until actual site. So there's a couple things on C that you want to be able to do. You want to be able to put as much pressure as possible on the normal areas, or like on the normal places that people are going to be. So the first one is this nade here, which is going to go to the back pillar. We usually are going to combine this with 1 or 2 satchels. These are like the 2 satchels. So there's like a single satchel here that we can do. There's a double satchel here we can do as well. Okay, once again, you can do better than me. I swear that I'm better at this. Yeah, okay, there we go. We do something like that as well. It's also possible. Single satchel is definitely better if you're expecting to fight here. If you're expecting to fight here, you get your grenade faster. You can stop shooting now instead of double satcheling, and then you can't fight as fast. You want to be pairing this with this nade as well if you're aiming to fight here, which is good. And then the other nade that we want to do is we want to bounce off this wall, and it lands nicely on this area. So it can mean that like someone like playing here, someone playing like this, can't play like that anymore, and it can be really, really bad because sometimes people don't plan that far ahead and they realize that they're in a really bad position and then they're dead just in the open because they're being stupid basically. One of the satchels, or one of the other satchels we can do is just, okay, it's just, that was meant to be a single satchel, but we won't talk about it. It's a single satchel onto this. It's possible. There's also double satchels you can do from very far away or much further away. See on top. And you can also combine this with ult, like this. Actually, you do it the other way around, but it's okay. Let's see if I can actually do it. Wait, I did it wrong again. Am I this stupid? You do like this. There you go. Funny thing is that I'm so much better when I actually play Raze. When I go to do a guided Raze, it's dude. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of like how you play C. You would either this nade, sorry to rejog memory. This nade, a single satchel, or you double satchel there, or you're gonna do a single satchel on top, or a double satchel from further away. That's kind of like how you would play C initially, and then you can do whatever you want to do. You can boombot as well. I've also got boombot. You can boombot this way as well, but also cut off people like this, so you can also make it really, really difficult for them. You can also wait for the boombot to actually proc, so you don't waste the nade. So you can just wait here. This boombot procs, then you can throw. If it doesn't, then you can throw this one instead. That's also a really, really good way to play out to C. Okay, I forgot about post-plant positioning for some reason, or like post-plant in general. So there are places you can go on Raze that are decent. I won't go here. I will go like in this sort of area. You can bank nades off this wall. It can generally be very, very annoying to deal with. Boombots through here. Probably would not actually have your boombots. You might have nades. Generally, you're going to be looking for one. You can also go much more aggressive than this. Depends on how aggressive your team wants to go. You can also ask for flashes and fight, and then have your nade back up. Yeah, put them where you need them basically. That's for C. On for B. Well, I've already kind of talked about this. You're on eco usually, so you're probably going to be playing this sort of position. You're going to be playing into A link and then playing from there. Or you're going to be playing into this smoke in C link. You're not really going to be doing too much else. There is some other stuff you can do. But generally B is like, I would only really go here on ecos or bonuses. And then on A, post-plant positioning wise, this is not too bad. It kind of depends on, once again, like where your teammates are positioned. You have decent nade angles, get like the plant, like that. So don't worry too much about that. If you decide to go tree as well, tree is also a viable option. Once again, decent nade angles to get your plant, and also decent nade angles initially. If you were like going off the kill drill, then you probably just happen to be here, and there's no point in repositioning. Huge amount. You can also go really aggressive. Like with this like flash, right? Not flash. With the like this satchel I showed before, and then you can be playing up here, ready to. Usually ready to drop, so you would be like in this sort of area like this. Get one, drop. Sometimes it will be smoked as well, but yeah, generally you're going to be doing things like this. You want to be fairly aggressive. You don't want to be giving your teammates the first contact when you're playing Raze. You generally want to be the one taking fights. Generally anyway, sometimes it's better that you live because your nade is a lot stronger in the post plant sometimes than like maybe your teammates util is. Then maybe you're playing like, I don't know who you're playing with. I don't know, off the top of my head, who doesn't have a very good threat on the bomb post plant. Jet, I guess. If you play with a Jet, then you probably want to let them take the first fight or something, and then you have your nade for the post. Yeah, so the guide has been not that clear, I don't think. Hopefully, did learn some things about Raze on this map. I probably could have done better with a bit more time, but I wanted to get this one done. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one.